What if you were told that there's a place on Earth where the water is so dense, you can't sink even if you try? A place where you float like a cork, reading a newspaper, in water 8 times saltier than the ocean. Picture this. You're lying on your back in water so buoyant it feels like an invisible mattress is holding you up. The sun is warm, the air is dry, and you're effortlessly floating in the lowest point on Earth. This is the Dead Sea, not really a sea at all, but a landlocked salt lake famous for one thing, making sinking impossible. But how did this lake get so salty? And why does its water behave in a way that seems to defy the normal rules of swimming? The story of the Dead Sea's buoyancy is more than a fun fact. It's a tale written in stone, salt, and slow-moving tectonic forces. Let's start with the basics. Buoyancy, the force that lets things float, works because of displacement. When you get into a pool, you push aside, or displace, some of the water. The water pushes back with a force equal to the weight of the water you moved. If that upward push is greater than your weight, you float. In fresh water, most human bodies are just slightly less dense than the water, so we float, but barely. We have to tread or paddle to stay up. But in the Dead Sea, you don't just float, you pop to the surface. You can't help it. And the reason comes down to one thing. Density. The Dead Sea isn't just a little salty. It's almost impossibly salty. While the ocean has about 3.5% salt content, the Dead Sea's water is over 34% salt, and in some places, even higher. That salt isn't just table salt either. It's a thick cocktail of minerals, mostly magnesium, calcium, potassium, and chloride, all dissolved into the water over thousands of years. So why is it so salty? Because the Dead Sea is a terminal lake. That means water flows in, but it doesn't flow out. The Jordan River is its main source, bringing fresh water from the north. But once that water arrives, it has only one way to leave. Evaporation. When the hot desert sun beats down, the water turns to vapor and rises into the sky, but the salt and minerals stay behind. Over millennia, this cycle has turned the lake into a concentrated brine, so dense that it's become one of the harshest environments on the planet. No fish can survive here. Almost nothing can. That's how it earned its name. The Dead Sea. Now, let's talk about what happens when a human body enters this supersaline environment. An average human body is less dense than Dead Sea water, much less. That means the upward buoyant force is far stronger than your weight. You don't need to swim. You don't need to tread water. In fact, trying to swim normally here can be dangerous. If you roll onto your stomach, your legs might rise up and it's easy to lose balance. That's why the classic Dead Sea photo is someone on their back, relaxed, maybe even reading. But there's a hidden cost to all that salt. Get a drop of this water in your eye and you'll know it. The sting is instant and intense. Any small cut on your skin will light up with pain. And if you swallow even a mouthful, you're in for a world of discomfort. This isn't water for playing, it's water for floating carefully. And while the buoyancy feels like magic, it's also temporary, because the Dead Sea is disappearing. Year by year, the water level is dropping by over a meter per year in recent decades. Part of this is natural evaporation, but a bigger part is human activity. The Jordan River, the lake's lifeline, is being heavily diverted for agriculture and drinking water upstream. Less water coming in means more concentration and a shrinking shoreline. As the water recedes, It leaves behind surreal salt formations and dangerous sinkholes. Resorts that once sat by the water's edge are now a long walk from the water. The very buoyancy people travel across the world to experience is changing, becoming even saltier, even denser as the lake contracts. So when you float in the Dead Sea, you're not just experiencing a scientific curiosity. You're floating in a body of water that tells a story millions of years in the making, and one that's rapidly approaching a critical point. Scientists and environmentalists are now exploring ideas to save it, from channeling water from the Red Sea to better managing the Jordan River. But the future of this natural wonder is uncertain. What's certain is this: the Dead Sea gives us a rare, tangible experience of density and buoyancy that you can't find anywhere else. It's a place where humans, without any effort, become part of the landscape, floating in a silent, stark, and stunning basin that feels both powerful and fragile. Have you ever floated in the Dead Sea or another super salty lake? Share your experience in the comments. And if you want more fascinating stories about Earth's most unique places, subscribe to Wonder Explorer.